Thank you for joining us today, Renee. It's an honor to be speaking with you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Mo. It's early here, but I know it's later there, but thank you for having me.
I want to know, the bubble obviously happened, the wubble, as they called it, for the amazing women in the WNBA. But you actually decided to opt out of playing and turn your attention to other causes. Can you give our viewers over here in the UK who might not have heard about that, might not know about what's been going on, a little bit more information about your decision, why you felt it was so important for yourself to opt out from playing?
Yeah, no, for me, there was just so much going on that I wanted to be hands-on with. I wanted to be outside the bubble per se and just be able to move how I wanted to move. And with this season in the WNBA, if you were keeping track, there were games literally every other day. Teams were playing every other day just throughout almost the whole season. And so when you look at that, they were amazing because they did find the time as a collective to be able to take a stance on social justice. But for me, I wanted more time than I knew I would be able to have in the bubble. So I wanted to be able to just be here in Atlanta and be connected to what's going on and the movement that's happening. And so I opted out at the 2020 season. And it's been, honestly, I haven't regretted the decision because I feel so connected.
For me, what really stood out from the WNBA games that happened is, having Breonna Taylor's name on every jersey, those tributes before every game, everyone standing in silence and paying their respects. How proud are you of those guys and everything that they've did from inside as well?
Right away, the WNBA dedicated the season to social justice. So they let everybody know off top, this is what we're doing. And then every week they had a Say Her Name campaign where they said the names of Breonna Taylor and all the other women who were victims. And so they found a way. They wore shirts into the arena. They did so many different things inside the Wubble to me that made me proud. I was proud to be a part of the WNBA. I kept on telling people all the time, you see, this is what I'm a part of. And me being on the outside of the Wubble and them being on the inside of the Wubble didn't make me feel any more or less connected.
Yeah, because I know they were representing for you, in spirit of, had you been there, you'd have been doing the exact same thing. And I think it's amazing what yourself and your colleagues have done. But we're going to talk a little bit about the season. The Seattle Storm, obviously running away with it. I want to just get your thoughts on Seattle's amazing season and running the finals.
Yeah, Seattle's one of those teams that every year, if healthy, you just assume they're probably going to be in the finals. I mean, they weren't just beating teams. They were really whooping teams. They were bored on the bench sometimes. Everybody looked like there wasn't even any competition. And no disrespect to the other teams or players, but sometimes it felt like that from the outside looking in. And then for them to go on and seal the deal and win the championship, for a lot of people that know basketball, it wasn't necessarily a surprise. Another thing is Birdie winning another championship. A lot of people are talking about it, but that's a big feat in itself for her to have been through so much and then to come back and win.
What do you make of her comparisons that people are making now to LeBron James?
Yeah, I think it's fair, and that's with all due respect to LeBron. Everybody knows, I'm team LeBron in a sense of I think he's just that good of a player and he's that good of a guy off the court. So I'm just a fan in general, but when we're talking about basketball and we're talking about what she's done for women's basketball, we can't compare her to LeBron. We can compare what they've done, literally the 4 titles. A lot of things are very similar. 17 years, getting your 4th title in your 17th year. That's unbelievable. A lot of players maybe have done that. I don't know. That's a longevity career. But for them to be vital roles on that team, I think the comparisons are fair.
Now, I know you didn't take part in this season, but I'm assuming that you have plans to return at some point because I know, as a hooper, you can't leave the game alone. Have you been, working out with trainers, or you've been playing any of the WNBA on 2K, to keep your skills sharp?
I want
to know what your routine is right now.
I got to get into it. I got to get into 2K, but I would say, even a lot of people were shocked, when they saw LeBron watching footage of Jordan and saying, getting prepared for next season. Everybody's like, yo, you just came off of a win. And people don't understand mental preparation. Like, that's a big part of the game. Like, there's so much physical that you can do. And even right now in these COVID times, honestly, I've just been making sure that I keep my body in good shape. I just make sure that I don't let myself get too out of shape. But as far as the mental aspect, when I watch the games, this is probably the first year where I've enjoyed basketball just as like the casual fan, like in a sense of I'm not breaking down the plays and I'm not breaking down, oh, this player goes left every time she catches it. And then I'm not doing that. And so I say that to say, sometimes I get into sessions where let me rewatch this game. I want to see what happened. And to me, that's a form of staying prepared.
Yeah, I know that the ladies in the WNBA are gonna be worried about you coming back because you know how we do getting buckets over here. But what are your predictions for next season? Then are you backing yourself? What are you thinking in terms of the MVP next season and who's going to be in the finals and who's going to lift that trophy at the end of the season?
MVP is going to be different because there were some MVP caliber players that didn't play this year. And when I say MVP caliber, players that actually won, a Tina Charles, Elena Deladon, Liz Cambage is MVP caliber, and she just hasn't won it yet. So when you talk about MVPs, man, that's tough because you're going to have some players that are more rested than they're used to being. And then you're going to have players like a Brianna Stewart, who everyone thought she could have been MVP coming back. It's tough. That's hard.
I gotta push you for one name though.
Let's go with, I'm gonna say Stewie, just because she's gonna come off of that finals MVP, coming off of not having one MVP, and maybe shoot for it. So if she guns for it, she can get it. So I would say Stewie.
The momentum's there. And how about your predictions for the finals and the champions?
Oh, man. I think, it would be crazy if we got a rematch. And the reason I say that is because next year, Vegas will be adding Liz Cambage to that equation. Kelsey Plum, who got hurt right before the season. I don't know if she'll be back, in time for the season. But if she is, then they're going to be getting some all-star caliber players added to a team that already made the final. So let's just say a rematch then.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I look forward to it. I just want to say, from all of us across this side of the pond, we salute you for the amazing work that you're doing off the court. And we also look forward to having you back playing on the court. So thank you for your time, Renee. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Mo.